Now we're going to look at our hotel room in more detail about how it was reviewed. We saw that our reviewer's score was 4.1 out of 5. But why was it this rating? We can read some of our reviews that the reviewers wrote to see why they gave it that rating. This first review gave it a score of 4 and would recommend. They said, great theater trip. A theater is a place where actors go to show plays. So he stayed at the hotel so he could go to the theater in downtown. And he said it was a great trip to go to the theater. The check-in staff were very polite and courteous. So the staff working to get you checked in were polite, they were kind, and they were courteous. She provided us with good information and reviews on the theater play we were going to see. So the lady who worked at check-in was knowledgeable of the city, was knowledgeable of the theater, and could help to give them good information on what was good to go see. She attended this play 2 nights previous. The shuttle driver was great. So they had a hotel shuttle, the bus or van that would drive them into the city. He was a good driver, actually a great driver, and he took us directly to the theater. So you're learning by what he's saying that not only does the shuttle take you to the airport, but the shuttle will also take you into the city. So you don't have to worry about how will I get downtown. The hotel provides a shuttle to do that. And, well, we need to read on. Let's read more of what he says. And picked us up after the play. So we were able to get to the theater and back through their shuttle service. Breakfast was good. He spelled breakfast wrong. We have stayed here before and will continue to use this Silver Cloud when we stay in Seattle. So he has a very good review, was especially pleased with the hotel staff being very helpful. This guy gave it a 5 and said, would stay here again. I would stay here again. It was a very pleasant stay. It was enjoyable. The staff, the workers, they were very accommodating. When you're accommodating, you are helpful. In the ways that the customer needed it, they were helpful. They were accommodating and friendly. The neighborhood was quiet. The neighborhood is the area directly around where the hotel is at. So you can talk about the neighborhood that you live in. So I live in a small neighborhood and there is about 100 houses in my neighborhood. I could tell my kids, yes, you can go out and play in the neighborhood. So the neighborhood around the hotel, it was quiet. The shuttle service, again, we're talking about that bus that it provides for you that goes into town, downtown, was reliable. Reliable being on time. It would be there for you when you needed it. It's reliable and efficient. It didn't take up a lot of extra effort for me to be able to use that. It was just as easy to use their shuttle service than it would be for me to take a taxi. So it was reliable and efficient. Here, this person said that it was a great night close to downtown. Very good value for money. Remember before we talked about value. You get a lot for what you paid. So even though our $159 that we're paying per night is kind of a lot, it is very good value because you get to stay right downtown, and the shuttle service takes you into the sites. You want to go to the Space Needle, or you want to go to the theater, then you can get there, or it's very good value because you have a beautiful view of the lake. Okay, here we have someone who only rated the hotel out of 1. Let's see what bad things that people might say about the hotel. Great hotel, if only. The hotel location was great with a terrific shuttle system. So again, they're saying the shuttle bus into town was very good. Close to the bus and trolley and beautiful views. So the town has a trolley system in it also. The desk staff were wonderful and the free breakfast was okay. The room with the jacuzzi was outstanding, but the cleaning staff was poor. So he liked everything in the hotel, but gave it a very bad rating because his room was not clean. Well, we're going to conclude that this man, for some reason, just had a bad experience, or maybe he would just is very picky. He was having a bad day and he was grumpy when he wrote this review, because we remember when we looked at our overall ratings, the cleanliness of the hotel had the highest rating of anything on their listing. So we will conclude that maybe old writer was just grumpy when he wrote his review. He was in a bad mood. We will not pay attention because all these other reviews would recommend. They said thumbs up. We say yes, you should also stay there. So that's what reviews are. And you should also practice writing your own review.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening. I don't know what time it is where you are, but I just finished writing a little review here about a hotel. So let's read it together. The staff were helpful and polite. The room was clean. Great amenities. So this is just a brief review, and something to keep in mind, especially if you're traveling to America, is generally in writing reviews, you want to keep them brief. You don't want to write and use a ton of adjectives saying the staff were helpful, polite, kind, courteous, caring. People don't really want to know all that, and the longer your review is, the less likely someone is going to read it, especially about a hotel. If you're investing in a $1,500 camera or some type of computer, maybe people will be more likely to read the technical details. But for our purposes, you want to stay brief. And Melissa told you many different adjectives in this last lesson. And really, if you're looking to improve your English, adjectives is one of the greatest ways to do it. Like if I ask you, how are you today? And you say, good. Good. Kind of boring, right? Who doesn't know good? What does good really mean? But if you say, I'm wonderful, it's been an outstanding day, I'm excited, then you're using more adjectives, more vocabulary, and it just kind of enriches the conversation. A good way to practice this is for you to write a review yourself. Now, a tool that will be very useful for you is something called a thesaurus. Now, what this gives you different synonyms to a word. So, say if you want to talk about the hotel staff and say they're kind. Well, are they kind? Do you mean caring? Do you mean thoughtful? Do you mean good? So those are just some synonyms to the word kind, and it will help you pick out what is the best way to describe your experience. So take some time, write up a review. It could be on a hotel, it could be on your flight that you took. It could even be on certain pair of jeans you bought, some shoes that you have worn. And just practice this. You can do it online, you can do it with a friend, you can write it down on a piece of paper, but just take some time to review something.